know that you think you're the coolest one in town, but to me you'll be much cooler when you're 6 feet underground. Some of us are crazy, some are smart and brave. Well, it doesn't really matter, we all end up in the grave. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. I said all my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead.
Well, hello, breathers.
And welcome.
My name is Shannon Butler.
I'm always Sue Teresi because everyone else has been taken, so I have to be her.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's a good person to be.
Oh, listen to you. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome to another fabulous episode of
All my favorite people are dead. Oh, no. Shannon and I have issues.
Yeah, we do.
For those of you who can't see us, which is all
Everybody.
of you.
Everybody.
Shannon and I like to gesture at each other, some sort of weird murder, death gesture. And I did the hanging and she did the choking.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's
we're
like rock,
together.
paper, scissor.
Yeah.
I think we're doing a murderous rock, paper, scissor. And
Yeah.
sometimes we get it together.
But the hanging was good. Like, I did the hanging last time, but you didn't see it.
Oh.
I think you were paying attention to your friend Nancy.
Yeah.
That's
okay. So maybe, so if I didn't know it and I did the same gesture, does that count?
I don't know.
See, like if a tree falls in the woods and no one is there to hear it, is your husband wrong?
Maybe?
I don't know. Okay, well, we'll just keep rock, paper, scissors until we find something.
So holidays.
It's that time of year.
Well,
Hippity hoppity?
that holiday. The bunny.
I have a question.
What's up?
Easter is about bunnies and eggs.
I have no idea where that came from.
Bunnies are mammals.
Yeah.
Bunnies don't lay eggs.
No.
I would understand if it was the Easter chicken.
Easter chicken would make more sense.
Like Peeps. But I never understood the bunny and the eggs. You'll have to forgive my ignorance. I don't get the whole...
And a ham dinner. Where does the ham come in? I don't know.
Paschal ham?
Isn't it a lamb?
Oh, I don't know.
I guess you could have lamb if you're fancy.
Asking the Jew about a Paschal ham or a Paschal lamb. Don't know.
Well, right. You have Passover and I have Easter.
It's the same week. It's the same...
Yeah.
Not details. It's the same overall.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was born on Good Friday. Did you know that?
So
I was born
you're a Good
on
Friday girl, huh?
I guess that makes me the Antichrist. I don't know. I was born on Good Friday.
I don't know.
Yes, I was. And my birthday... So... You know, when you're a little Jewish kid and your birthday falls out on Passover, you know what you don't have? Excuse me. You know what you don't have?
No.
Birthday cake.
Oh, that's right, because you don't have any kind of bread or cake or
No
anything.
cake, no pizza.
Right.
Everybody's away on spring break.
That's a crappy birthday.
So my mother would give me like a chocolate matzah with a can. Happy birthday. And I'm like, no. Can we do it next week? My birthday's today. It's not next. I mean, now I don't care.
Uh-huh.
But when you're a kid, and now there's like basically almost kosher for Passover bread. There's like kosher for Passover cake and vegan stuff. And, you know, there's so many options that now I do have cake on my birthday.
Okay.
But, you know, kosher for Passover. But when you're a kid, it sucked.
Well, for me, let's see. I was born sometime around Easter. Like some years, Easter falls on my birthday.
On your actual birthday.
Yeah, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But because we're both April babies, you and I, so we're both kind of the same. We're in that Holy Week thing.
That's correct.
Yeah,
naturally.
So, so we're both Antichrist.
That's right.
So in my family. Well, my family, they're all atheists, so it was never a big deal. But my mom had to have the Easter baskets on Easter for us.
That's adorable.
With lots of candy, and she's just like spending money. That's all that was.
Oh, that's adorable. That's a lovely tradition.
No, it was nice. You know, lots of candy and hiding the eggs, the decorated egg. We like to decorate the eggs when I was a kid.
The ones that the bunnies laid.
Right. The ones that make no sense.
Okay.
I was just like, for me, it was like, we're going to turn these into deviled eggs when we're ready, right? When they're ready. Right. Because that's what I wanted.
I like deviled eggs.
Yeah.
I should make you deviled eggs.
I love making deviled eggs.
I might do
that. I love them.
I make them good.
Anytime. I make them good too.
And then I for Halloween I make them and I use an olive and I cut it up and it looks like a spider.
Oh yeah.
On the egg. When you'll see for
cool.
Halloween. That's one of my Halloween goodies.
I love deviled eggs.
Yeah. Spider's legs.
Yeah. So and then I go to church on Easter, and it's a nice service, and then they have an Easter egg hunt in the front yard of the church for all the little kids. Yeah, it's cute. But I guess I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know. It's the birth of... No,
Death.
I'm sorry,
Death.
not death. Yeah.
Even
Whoa.
I know.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa. Shannon, rebirth.
Okay.
of Christ, right? So I'm not very good at... I'm not a good atheist. I'm not a good Christian. I'm not good at any of this shit. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know your Jewish stuff for sure.
Yeah, I'd say so.
That's your
All
job.
Yeah, that's what I do,
Yeah.
literally, for a
Yeah.
living. It's, I asked the kids, we have matzah, and the whole big thing, my whole life I was told this is the bread of affliction, of bondage.
Right.
But I say now, then, isn't this kind of the bread of freedom? We'll talk about this at the Seder. Because although they made it as slaves, they ate it as free people. And I work with third graders, and I'm like, is everybody free? No. The answer, for those of you listening, the answer is no. No, not everybody is free, unfortunately, in this world. And some people aren't free for themselves.
Right.
If you have an addiction, you have a problem, you can't get out of your own head, you're not free either.
Right.
So we talk about things like that with the kids, and because we're supposed to
That's
feel...
deep. That's deep.
It is, especially for a third grader.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm their teacher. That's how I roll. Ooh. And, and everybody should be free from suffering, all beings, and free, and what does freedom mean? And, on a non-third grade level, on a high school level, my friend Janice always says, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose.
There you go.
I can't even begin to do that with third graders. But but what does it mean?
Right.
You got nothing to lose. So freedom isn't always free. And that's that time of the year. And we're supposed to feel like not just our ancestors, but we ourselves came out of bondage. And that's how you're supposed to feel at this time of the year, and especially when it's your birthday. And if my birthday falls out on a Seder, right, we usually ask a question like, why is this night different? Because I have to cook for 15 people on my birthday. That's sometimes one of the, without birthday cake, but I digress. But no, but I think they have a lot in common. The whole, the egg and the rebirth and the spring, and it's all the same time frame. And it's all 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Okay.
That's how I look at it. We're all the same, and I don't like anybody. So who's breathing? We only like dead people.
We like dead people, which is why we're here today.
We can talk about them.
We're going to talk.
Because dead men tell no tales.
That's right.
I like that saying.
I know you do.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's like your favorite saying.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and have asked me about my cats.
Have you asked me about my cats? Why, thank you for asking me about my cat, Shannon. What do you want to know?
Wow, where are they?
They're upstairs. That's a separate podcast. I'll be doing a podcast about the cats and the grand dog and all the animals that I love.
Actually, one of the guys that listens to his podcast regularly, who
you mean the only guy that listens?
No,
to
no, the guy that comes to my work all the time. He's regular, and he's like, I want to be on your podcast, but I have to die first.
So what are you suggesting? We make that happen?
No.
Do you know where he lives?
I was like, no, we're not. That's not happening. But he's like, you should have more animals on your podcast. I'm like, our favorite.
Talk about
our
Lassie?
favorite. Yeah, like a dead. I don't know.
We should talk about Lassie. Rin Tin Tin. Secretariat.
Fala. You talked about Fala.
We did Fala.
Yeah.
We did Fala. That would be. I don't know. I don't know if I can do. I don't know. I mean, I would consider it.
A whole episode of our favorite dead.
You know what a comet is? A comet. A comet is a star with a tail.
Right.
Like Lassie. That was terrible.
That was bad.
Wasn't it? I learned that joke at NASA. So, on that note.
So, you've got a dead person for us this week.
Naturally. Yeah. I have the original, the one and only Glamagool. She was a Glamagool. Glamagool, G-H. My favorite Glamagool, Vampira.
Yay!
I love Vampira. I learned about her too late, but never too late. But I love Vampira.
Okay. She
was born Maila Elizabeth, and I cannot pronounce her last name because it's got like an umlaut, Syrjanimi, but I'm going to just call her Nurmi, Maila Nurmi, which it was her stage name.
Nurmi, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She was born December 11th, 1922 in Gloucester, Massachusetts.
Oh. New England girl.
Yeah. She passed away January 10th of 2008.
Okay.
Known again professionally as Maila Nurmi, she was an American actress who created the campy, yes, I said it, campy 1950s character of Vampira, the dark goddess of horror.
So, yeah, I was looking at...
She was gorgeous, right? Spooky
she was gorgeous.
Yeah, spooky. And you got to remember the time frame.
Yes.
So...
And she was quite sexual for given the time
You
frame.
think?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to get to that.
Okay. All right. Don't let me jump in here. You go ahead.
Always good. The Dark Goddess of Horror. She was a Charles Addams cartoon come to life.
Yeah.
Whose roots went into Gothic literature. Hollywood noir, femme fatale, lovers of the macabre, an icon whose influence lingers today, if you think about
sure.
it, right? The goth girls.
Absolutely.
The girl next door, only with a whip and a chain, and she knew how to use it.
I bet she did.
I imagine. Bad girls, or vamps, right? A vamp, were starting to emerge with their own set of attitudes and values. Freud's sudden popularity in America produced a big anxiety for men who were returning home from World War II.
Okay.
All right, think about that. They're returning home, and look what they got. Vampira.
Got some
okay, yeah. Look, she's not exactly waiting at the door with the newspaper and the slippers. Okay?
Right.
Later, by the 1950s, macabre became a way to put American culture under a different light. Think about my boy, Rod Serling. Think about Ray Bradbury, who were practically blending Gothic themes with now social and political satire.
Yeah.
Think about all that sci-fi and blending the Gothic and literature. Yeah, think about that for a moment.
Sure.
I'll wait here. You guys think about that at home.
And Vincent Price, of course.
Again, same time frame.
Yeah.
Same time frame, but they were all men.
Right, yeah.
And
time for a girl to step up and do this stuff.
Yeah, is a world unto itself.
Yeah.
Important to modern children of the night, the very first TV horror host who turned out to be a hostess, whose style has inspired generations of goth girls to adopt that sexy undead look of all their own. The dark side of popular culture has proven that it inspired actress Maila Nurmi to challenge a post-war culture bent on stifling women's choices, their bodies, and their desires.
Yeah.
And then she pops up. So she was, you're going to love this, she was the daughter of a communist Finnish immigrant, Nurmi, whose original name with the umlaut, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. And her mother, she had a brother, Robert. She started out as a housewife who wanted to be, that's right, an evangelist.
She wanted to be an evangelist?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, can't you tell? But sometimes in life, it's not what you like, it's what likes you.
Right.
And she wound up making her living as a television Black Widow vampire.
Well,
Same as an evangelist.
She was actually, wasn't she originally blonde before she ended up dying? Or she
did the whole black, goth.
Yeah.
Not how you're born, except if you're me. She refused to play by men's rules. She found herself initially celebrated, but then discarded. Oh, yeah.
Yes,
easy come,
right.
Easy go.
Yeah,
right?
She was, yeah.
The Vampira character dripped sexual power and aggression. She completely subverted the image of the 1950s housewife, turning it into a rebellious monster. Now, think of the 50s. TV is a practically new medium, right? Think of the women you're seeing on TV. Oh, I Love Lucy, Leave It to Beaver. Now, out comes a sexy woman, voluptuous, sexy woman who is now bringing horror directly into American homes.
That waste.
Can you imagine?
Can we just talk about that for a second?
The little, like a Barbie doll with the big boobs and the little weight, but that's...
That corset.
You think? I don't know, she probably ate like celery 3 meals a day, and she was tall. And very, and yeah, that's the look.
That was just, I mean, it's a lot.
Crushing your waist.
Crushing your waist.
But then again, well, we'll get to it. Okay. But unlike Lucy and June Cleaver, Vampira's ghoulish housewife was hypnotically dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? She wasn't changing to make people comfortable. Right? You think of Leave It to Beaver, and you think of Island of Little Housewives with the separate... Yeah, oh, hell no.
No.
She's not changing. She's going to make you uncomfortable.
And a cocktail.
And a drink, and probably beat you with a whip. She was close with James Dean.
Yeah, she was.
They were, and he denies romantic connections between them. She said they did. He said, she said. They were good friends. Right. Well, when you think about it, they both, can't be controlled. They both have rebels without a cause, right? They both both challenged society, and I can see where the common thread was.
I had heard something about they were threatening. They were saying that she was responsible. She had used black magic to cause his death in that race. And,
right. Well, that's just crap. Yeah. She wasn't. Okay, people are confusing black magic and witches with vampires.
Right.
Okay, two different animals.
She's not a witch.
She's not a witch. She wasn't really a vampire either. Really.
Right.
She was a housewife.
Right.
It's an act.
Oh, sure.
It's all an act. I once heard Alice Cooper. And Alice Cooper's married like 45 years to the same woman. He goes to church, believe it or not, Sunday mornings. His daughter is part of the act, but he says Alice is who I am on stage.
Right.
I am Alice on stage with the guillotine, and it's all, I think the word he used was vaudeville.
Right.
And same with her.
Yeah.
This is who you appear. This isn't you. Right? Again, like we've discussed before, separating the art from the artist.
Right.
No, she didn't kill James Dean. Okay? They shared the same neurosis. That's what partially their friendship was based upon. She's quoted as saying they were the same kind of soldier. She was brave enough to hold up a mirror to America's false belief of self-control. Think about that. In the 40s, she claimed she had a child with none other than Orson Welles.
Right, there was that affair.
There was.
That they had for a while.
He happened to have been married to Rita Hayworth at the time.
I think he referred to her as a magnificent carcass.
I wonder why.
When he first saw her naked, he was like, "Oh, a magnificent carcass."
I don't think she was dead. But so apparently their liaison ended in a child being given up for adoption.
Oh.
Again, he said, she said, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. What do I know? I know less than nothing. So now picture, it's May 1st, 1954.
Okay.
Late night. In struts into every show, Vampira, screaming, looking directly into the camera, screaming. This goth, Garbo-esque woman dressed all in black with a white face makeup and daggers for fingernails.
Yeah.
Okay? This is the 50s, people, right? Now I know you see this walking down the street, but think back to I Love Lucy time at night.
Yeah.
Okay? This was the Vampira show.
It must have been a late night show.
It was a late night show. Yeah. I think my mother watches something called Svengoolie. It's the same thing. He's almost like a horror guy, and he narrates the film before and after.
Right.
Now, my husband and I, because we're old, we watch a lot of Turner Classics.
Sure, me too.
Ben Mankiewicz, right?
Yeah, Ben Mankiewicz. Yep.
Okay, think of her as Ben Mankiewicz, right? Only, a beautiful Garbo-esque goth woman who's introducing and talking about the show before and after. However, not only does she introduce it, she mocks the evening's film while reclining barefoot on a skull-encrusted Victorian couch.
Yeah, I love that couch. I could see that in your living room.
I have to get one.
Yes.
And her horror-related comedy, her angst, her antics, ghoulish puns, like the stupid things I say, encouraging viewers, don't write in for autographs, write in for epitaphs.
Yeah.
Things like that. And she always talking to her pet spider, Rolo. Her pets. I mean, things like that. I think it's still funny now. Can you imagine turning that shock value of turning in at night and seeing something like that?
Yeah.
You don't know what. People like me think it's funny, although would I have thought it's funny in the 50s in that culture? I don't know. So
it's funny now. I was watching before I came here. I was watching a little bit, and
what did you think?
Well, she's sitting there with this cocktail that's bubbling, and she's like,
with the
a vampire cocktail to settle your nerves, and
she was drinking AB negative,
and she's like, people write me asking what I garnish my cocktails with, cherries or olives, and she's like, no, eyeballs.
There you go. Right.
She's like, if you have a spare eyeball lying around,
just send them. I have my father's eyes, and it's hysterical.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's hysterical.
I thought it was great, yeah.
But back then, it was also way unique.
Yeah, sure.
I have my Halloween parties. I make, I take like one of those crackers and a little piece of cheese. And it looks like a bloody Band-Aid. And I have my little pancake and my nuclear waste cocktail.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And, and I'm always, and the funny, all mine are kosher and vegan. But, to have something like that on late night TV at the time must have been either you're mortified and you're shocked or you think this is a hoot and a half.
Yeah.
So I think it went either way.
Sure.
Now, the idea for the Vampira character was born in 1953 when she attended a choreographer whose name was Lester Horton's annual masquerade costume party.
Yes.
And it was inspired by yet an unnamed Morticia Addams. Now, so back then, Charles Addams had a cartoon in the New Yorker.
Yes.
Of the Addams family before the show and all of that. It was just like the Morticia character. Well, she took that to the next level. That's where she got the idea.
She was also inspired by the Dragon Lady from Terry and the Pirates. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Her appearance with the white skin, the long black hair, the tight black dress caught the attention of a television producer, Hunt Stromberg, who said, I'm looking for a horror host in Los Angeles for a TV station, ABC TV. But I saw this woman and she was like wearing this outfit at a party, and how do I come across that woman, right? You know? And finally, he got her number from this guy, Rudy Generick, who was later became the designer of the topless swimsuit.
Oh.
He knew where to find Vampira, of course. The name Vampira was from her first husband. It was a characterization influenced by the Dragon Lady from the comic strip Terry and the Pirates, plus a dash of the Evil Queen from Disney's Snow White. Yeah. Melissa. So you take those two and you blend them together based on Charles Addams's like pre-Morticia, and that's what she came up with.
Right.
She really embellished, because Morticia wasn't that voluptuous, wasn't that busty. She was like, I'll throw in a little Greta Garbo, I'll throw in this, I'll throw in the voice. And she just came up with this explosive character.
And it's beautiful. Yeah.
How can you take your eyes off of that?
Right.
Okay. So the show was on for like a year until 55. That's it. It lasted about a year. Nominated for Los Angeles Area Emmy Award for Most Outstanding Female Personality of 1954.
Oh, sure.
Didn't see that coming. She did some B-horror films, but she's best known Ed Wood's camp classic.
Oh, God.
Plan 9, you saw it?
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Plan 9 from Outer Space. What a film.
So I feel like, because Ed Wood was born in Poughkeepsie.
Yes, he was. He went to Poughkeepsie High School.
He's our local guy.
That's right.
I remember someone calling the library, saying, I had heard that Ed Wood had a stack of like pornographic things that he hid in the basement of the Poughkeepsie Public Library, something stupid like that.
Oh.
And I'm like,
this
is a library. We do not have anything pornographic. I know. And I've been in the creepy basement in our library, and there's nothing there.
Okay.
So
you hid it somewhere else.
So anyway, I tried to sit down and watch Plan 9 from Outer Space. I think I got like
to fall asleep
20 minutes in, and I'm like,
and you needed an aspirin.
I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever. And I think back to when my brother and I had our little sketch comedy public access TV show. And I'm like, we did better shit than whatever the hell this is.
When you watch those Day of the Triffids. You ever see Day of the Triffids?
No.
Okay, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Where have you been? These are like, the stupidest, campiest. Did you see Rocky Horror? The Rocky Horror?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I think, actually started out as a real movie, and people, you can't watch that. I mean, when it's on TV, I watch it and I go, no, you just can't. You have to sing along. You have to throw things. It makes you want to throw things. These movies are not meant to be seen. They're a cult underground thing. Yeah. I watch it. I think it's hysterical in a weird way. It's like one of those, that's where it falls in. Yeah. And she had this, she was like the vampire-like zombie in 1956. It was released in 59. That's the whole, Ed Wood stuff.
Right.
So if you see the movie with Johnny Depp, where he plays Ed Wood,
right,
she's represented in there too, along with Bella. And, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. She claims to have been blacklisted by Hollywood.
Yes, I did. I saw that. Yeah,
probably. I couldn't see her not being, a sexual, powerful, no nonsense woman.
Right. Yeah.
Threatening men of the day.
The male producers of that time period, they couldn't handle that.
They didn't know what to do with her. So that one surprised me.
Right.
So Vampira, however, became immortal even as Maila Nurmi seemed to fade into the background.
Right.
Okay. So in 49, she married her first husband, Dean Reisner, the one that, we were talking about before. He was a child actor in silent films, later a screenwriter for Dirty Harry, and played Misty for Me. Yeah, numerous other movies and TV stuff. Her second husband, younger guy, John Brinkley, she married in 58. And finally, she married this guy, Fabrizio Moni, in 61 in Orange County, California. She dies alone of natural causes, January 10th, 2008, at her garage apartment in Hollywood at 85 years of age.
That's sad.
That was it. So now in 81, she's asked to revive Vampira.
Right.
For TV.
Yes.
Yeah, we all know what happens. I'll tell you what happens. She works closely with the producers of the new show. She was to get an executive producer credit, but eventually left the project over creative differences. She said there were too many other differences, so the station decides to cast a comic actress named Cassandra Peterson as lead hostess, who now forms her own character called Elvira. Okay, yes, there was somebody before Elvira.
Yes.
Okay, without consulting her. She said she was never consulted, that they would replace her with another woman of Elvira. Okay, they couldn't use Vampira. They can't use that name.
Right.
So now there's a lawsuit, and they eventually ruled in favor of Cassandra Peterson, saying that her likeness means actual representation of another person's appearance, and not simply a close resemblance. Okay, that's not a close resemblance. Yeah.
That's
Peterson claims Elvira is nothing like Vampira. Aside from the basic design of the black dress and the long black wig, nothing else. Oh, really? Nurmi claims that the entire Elvira persona, which includes comedic dialogue, bad graveyard puns that are intentional, and other things, all infringed on her creation of the distinctive dark dress, the horror movie props, the special personality. She says, no, we're stolen. You decide. The sad thing is, I actually grew up with Elvira in the 80s. Having her, hearing her host, and she's on a lot of Halloween music and all of that. It wasn't until many years later that I learned about Vampira.
Right.
And I was like, oh crap. I had that oh crap moment. I loved Elvira, and I guess I still do in a way. But then when you watch and you see the vampire, you go, come on now.
She just stole the whole thing.
That's not right.
Yeah. She sued her, right?
She sued. It was a lawsuit. Nothing. Well, she didn't really take it. It's a likeness. Yeah. No, it's not a likeness. She stole it.
Yeah.
Nurmi claims that Vampira's image was based partly on the New Yorker cartoon of Morticia Addams years ago. And she had intentionally deviated from Addams's mute and flat-chested creation, making Vampira a character that was campier and sexier to avoid plagiarizing Addams' ideas entirely.
Right.
And now Elvira goes and does the same exact thing that she did to avoid Morticia. Okay? Female villain, campy goth girl. She was even at one time referred to as a female impersonator. Like I don't even know what that means. Like she a man playing a woman? Like is she a woman? Because there's no way a woman could be doing anything like that. Like she must be a drag queen. This all the nonsense. But she was a dominatrix who held on to her own sexuality, and it lives. I have a third grade student who says to me a couple of weeks ago, did you happen to catch Wednesday? I think it's like streaming now.
Oh, yeah, Netflix, yeah.
Yeah. And the kid says to me, and I said, as a matter of fact, yeah, I did. Because I think it's a Tim Burton, and I love Tim Burton.
Right.
And she's watching, not knowing any of this, just a kid. This is all new to her. And that to me, that version, I loved it. I thought it was adorable with the goth dance and all that. That looks like that could be Vampira's granddaughter. What does that tell you? This stuff is still living on.
Sure.
She is the female, even on Wednesday, she's a teenage kid, right? But she is large and in charge.
Right.
So the idea of this goth girl, I think when you think of the little girl from Beetlejuice, or you think of all of these, I think it originated from Vampira. There's some kind of spillover.
And she was also the I was reading that she was
Okay.
the live action model for Maleficent in 1959.
Okay.
Like Disney actually used her.
Disney was famous for bringing in
Yeah.
real animals and real people to
Yeah.
mirror the. So did he do it on her or Vampira?
On Vampira.
There you go.
Yeah.
There
This
you
is
go.
1959.
15. So naturally,
Yeah.
so he probably
So they actually brought
her in
Yeah.
to mirror,
And you can see the eyebrows and everything else. And
to mirror her
yeah.
sexiness. Her, they didn't use, Charles Adams's
Right.
cartoons. So there you go. So what does that tell you?
She was an inspiration for goths everywhere.
One of these sexy, no nonsense. I'm not taking any crap. I'm not going to make you comfortable. You'll
Right.
deal with it.
Right. Yeah.
One of those
I
powerful
am what
women.
I am. Take it.
One of these powerful women ahead of her time. Now we don't think anything of it.
Right.
You go into Hot Topic, everybody looks like that now. I'm like, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the people that work there, people, oh, look at that. They were all. But think of it at a time when June Cleaver and I Love Lucy,
Right.
she had the chutzpah to not be afraid to say, I'm doing this and here I come and you don't, take me as I am or watch me as I go.
That's right. I like it.
But unfortunately, she phased out. The character lives on. So
I saw her headstone in the cemetery in California, where they actually have the drawing of Elvira, not Elvira,
Vampira on her stone.
On her stone,
Yeah.
It's very pretty, actually.
Yeah,
and that's very much who she was. I think a little bit, even though she didn't always dress that character. I think she still had that sort of mannerisms, the sort of. I'm just going to be what I want to be, what I am.
I'm going to be sultry and I'm going to do what I want. I mean, Elvira, Cassandra, I've seen you. I mean, she's completely unrecognizable.
Right.
She looks like this little, down home Southern sweetheart.
Right.
She's adorable.
Yeah.
At least she was. And but Maila I think that was just an enhanced version of who she actually was.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if they're actually playing a part. I know, like I said, with Alice Cooper, that's just like the nonsense he does. Mm-hmm. It's vaudeville.
Right.
So you have to separate the art from the artist unless the art is the artist, unless this is who you are. So
Interesting.
I'll leave it for you to decide. But yeah, go watch these old movies, these old gothic horror movies. Campy.
One of these days
funny.
I'll force myself to sit through all of Plan 9 From Outer Space.
We'll do it one Halloween week. We'll watch that, and I'll make you watch Day of the Triffids and Attack of the Killer Tomatoes because they're too intelligent.
Will I want a tomato salad after that?
You might.
Okay.
It's possible. You might.
Will I be too afraid to have my tomato sandwiches?
If you're that afraid to eat a tomato after that, I'm leaving. And there you have it.
All right.
Well, that was fun.
I like it. I learned a lot. Well, I tried to read a little bit about her before coming because I was like, when you said you were going to be doing Vampira, I was like, I really don't know a whole lot about it.
Most people don't.
No.
They all know Elvira.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Yeah.
And like I said, I knew about Elvira first. I didn't, learn years later because the 50s obviously was before my time, and nobody talks about, They don't say, I used to watch this show in the 50s and this, they had this gothic, they didn't even know what the word gothic was back then. Mm-hmm. What's gothic? Wuthering Heights? Okay.
Architecture.
Maybe. Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah. But, and we take it for granted because, goth has made its niche in society.
Right. Now it's cool to be goth.
Yeah, it's fine.
It wasn't cool when I was in high school. I was made fun of.
I had black nail polish in high school. I was not so much goth, more again with the heavy metal, and I had the motorcycle drag, more with the big hair with the hairspray. But I did have like black eyeshadow and black nail polish.
Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah,
I want to see it.
Yeah, no, sorry. What happened before the internet stays before the internet.
Oh, come on.
But yeah, it wasn't as mainstream. It wasn't as acceptable back then. If you're wearing, black eyeshadow and black nail polish, what are you, a dead worshiper? Maybe.
Maybe we like the dead.
I remember somebody saying something like, oh, whose funeral you going? Because, you wear all black. Whose funeral you going to? And I give that look like I haven't decided yet.
Maybe
Keep it up. It could be you.
We'll figure it out.
Could be you. So.
Actually, I have a funeral to go to this week.
Who'd you kill?
I didn't kill anybody.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, a friend died.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a podcast on them?
I don't.
No, they're not famous enough.
Well, nobody knows.
Okay.
He's a local antique car guy. Actually,
I'm very sorry for your loss. That's terrible.
Yeah, R.I.P. Joe.
Oh, That's terrible.
Like I said, all our favorite people are dead.
I know.
That's how it is.
I know. You know. All right, breathers.
All right, breathers. Thanks for listening.
Our email, in case you want to talk to us, is
favoritedeadpodcast@gmail.com.
we want to hear from you. We would love to interact and engage with you and find out what's on your mind.
That's right.
If you have questions, thoughts, nice comments, mean comments will be read out loud, and then we will find out where you live. But if you have any questions or any suggestions of somebody that you think we might want to do, or, anything like that, please hit us up.
Yeah. And you can also follow us on Facebook, too.
Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us
yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
We are out there.
We're
you
out
find
there.
us.
Find us.
Come and find us and give us feedback.
Yes.
We hope you learned.
And we hope you enjoyed another fabulous episode
Of All My Favorite People Are Dead. Stay on this side of the ground, people.
Bye, breathers.
I said